Hi, this is Dr. Pachenik, and I want to talk about the 36-year-old actor Jussie Smollett, who created a homosexual attack against himself and a racist attack against himself in Chicago. Most of you know all of the particulars about it, but the key issue here for me is not about a sociopathic actor who is manipulative and self-destructive. It's really about the mayor of Chicago, Rahm Emanuel. I have known about him for decades. His brother, Rahm Emanuel, head of William Morris Endeavor, is my agent. I remember him when he was just an agent at the William Morris Agency, and then he created a multi-billion-dollar corporation. His other brother, Zeke Emanuel, who's very famous in ethics and medicine. But more importantly, there's something about Rahm Emanuel that you have to understand. Vengeance is his. It's not the Lord's. Rahm Emanuel is a very tough, ruthless mayor of Chicago. And he and Superintendent Johnson of the police force will not forget that they were undercut by the prosecutor, Kim Foxx, who had been given $400,000 by Soros to free Smollett, who would have been indicted on a felony for conviction for fraud in police reports. That's 3 years in prison. Having said all that, Rahm Emanuel said very clearly, along with the superintendent, that Smollett, the actor, is going to pay $130,000 for the investigation. Secondly, there will be no free lunches here. And what he means is really he's saying he's giving a warning to Michelle Obama, to Obama and the Clintons and Bernie Sanders and a bunch of the progressives in the Democratic Party when he says vengeance is mine. When he said to Trump, listen, I don't want you involved in this, he really means it. He's not disrespectful to Trump, although he had a few words, because Trump and Rahm Emanuel are very close friends, and it was Ari who provided all the entertainment for the inauguration. But Rahm wants this moment in the sun to pay back for the humiliation that the mayor of Chicago had to endure. Why the humiliation? He knows, number one, that the blacks involved in the attorney system or the justice system are corrupt. He knows Kim Foxx is corrupt. He knows that the county is corrupt. He knows that the state is corrupt. But more importantly, he knows that the county, the city, and the state are totally bankrupt. And what happens is usually the black prisoners come in, they have convictions from 20 to 40 indictments, yet before the policeman can even finish a report, they're out and free. So what happened to Rahm Emanuel with the Smollett case is it put him in an embarrassing position where he knew that his faulty system was becoming very apparent and that he would not allow anybody to get away with. At the same time, Johnson understood that they have no beds for the prisoners. They've had 10,000 beds. They brought it down to 5,000, and then they put on electronic circuits around the prisoner, but they can't monitor those electronic circuits. So every felon in Chicago basically gets a free pass through the Justice Department. But Rahm is saying to Smollett, who was part of the Jesse Jackson entourage, that I'm warning you, and I'm warning Jesse Jackson, Michelle Obama, and Obama, that this is very dangerous. Number one, I know Jesse Jackson had provided Michelle with a job when she lost her lawyer's license and she was fired. And so she became, quote, part of Mayor Daley's entourage. Secondly, Rahm Emanuel knows that Valerie Jarrett also had lost her license and became part of Mayor Daley's entourage. Thirdly, he knows that Michelle Obama, along with Jesse Jackson and Wright, Reverend Wright, allowed Michelle to become the beard for Obama, who allegedly had a history of homosexual affairs. So what Rahm is saying to the Progressive Party of the Democrats is the following. I've tolerated the stupidity, arrogance, and anti-Semitism of Ilhan Omar, your congresswoman from Minnesota who's Somalian, but I will not tolerate this kind of insult where you mock my Justice Department. I will insist that Smollett pays $130,000 for the investigation. I want you to remember something. When somebody like Smollett, who's a sociopath, wishes to become famous, Nietzsche once said, the gods are cruel and they will grant your wishes. Good luck and good night.